I feel like we've been beating up on Tristan.
It's fair.
It's deserved.
I don't know about that. What's something that I do that annoys you?
I was going to say you put away all of my stuff despite having a label that said Tristan's stuff, don't move it. Because we went on a shoot to Colorado. I had like 10 minutes to pack and I knew it was going to piss you off, but I was like, that's okay. I'm going to put a label on it so that he doesn't touch it and he knows that I'm coming back to it when we get back from the trip. I come back. I have an all-day shoot for 3 days when I get back. On the 4th day, so like 6 days have extended to the point where this stuff's been sitting out. I know it's still there. I'm going to come back to it. I come back and it's all gone. And I wanted to be mad at you. And I was like, dude, what the heck? Why? Like, I know, and it was like I knew you were in there cleaning too, and it was a day that I was working on another project and I just had no time. And I go in there after you leave later that night. I was like, this son of a I was like, are you serious? Like, why? Like, I put in so much effort, a sticky note, so that you would know I'm coming back to it. And it turns out when I addressed it with you the next day, very level-headed after I had some time to calm down.
You approached me very level-headedly.
And I was just like, dude, why did you put all that stuff up? I had a note. And you're like, no note.
Yeah, I would not have touched it, but it had sat there for so long, and so I went over to it, and there was nothing else but stuff, and I was like, "This is Tristan. I'm picking this up."
Yeah.
And if I would have totally abided by the note, even though it would have made me cringe.
Yeah. I've had one,
and I apologized, even though there was no note. I still said sorry.
No, it's all good. I knew that was like I won't blame somebody if it's not their fault. That was if the air conditioner blew it off. I don't know.
I do think that's odd, though. I would like to know where the note went because it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, somebody snuck in, stole my note.
Somebody's like, "Oh, don't touch! I touched your note."
Yeah. I would say the only other thing is I know you're busy, but there are stuff I'll send over to you, and I'm like, this needs to be followed up with, and you're like, okay, I'll follow up with it, and then like a week will go by, and I know you're busy, but I'm like, don't tell me you're gonna follow up with it if it's not getting followed up with, and I know I'm hypocritical in that on some projects, but it's stuff that's
still going.
The stuff that ticks me off is the stuff that I know I could have done, but you said you would do, and I was like, I can do it. You're like, no, I got it. And I'm like, all right.
And
then it never gets done.
And that is honestly
delayed. It gets done eventually.
Yeah,
delayed.
But that is honestly, that's a problem of mine. I'm aware of this because I tend to, I don't know why, I just like to take on too much.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. Like, you'll be like, can you do this? And I'm like, you're like, I can do it if you can. I'm like, no, I can do it. Because I feel like I need to do it. And then it just doesn't ever make it onto the plate of other things.
We literally have a project that was in prospective, and it was for a client for something we wouldn't normally do, but it's definitely in our wheelhouse. And I was like, hey, the client just wants to know if you're willing.
What you were talking about.
The client just wants to know if you're willing to take on this project. And he's like, yeah, I'll let him know, or I'll get back with you and let you know if I'm willing to do it. And then it's like a week goes by, and I'm like, so you still want to do it or nah?
And then we talked about it, and I was like, I really don't want to do it, but maybe we should. And I went back and forth, and it's still.
And now we're still waiting
for limbo.
We're still waiting for that response.
Still in limbo.
Will we get it live on this podcast? Who knows?
Think about it.
I mean, obviously, I don't have time for it.
That's the biggest thing with all of these.
I mean, it
always comes back to like.
Unless somebody else can do graphic design, which it's not. Yeah. It's not something we should really be doing anyways. No.